So a couple of days ago, I asked you guys on the community tab what you wanted to see next. And one of the top requests, as well as one of my personal favorites, was how to jazz up and make an old phone look good. I think this is a great idea. People are statistically keeping their phones longer, but let's face it, phones do get slow eventually. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you some of my personal favorite tips for how you can make your older phone look and perform great for either free or very little money. Let's go. The first thing you should always do when your phone starts to get unusably slow is to do a good old factory reset. This will completely clear your phone, so not only will it get rid of apps and visible local files, but also cache that may have been stored. It'll free up space and in turn can drastically speed up your phone. Now, I'm not going to be going into direct instructions on how to do this with your phone, seeing as it varies so much from phone to phone, but generally it's in the settings folder. And to do this properly, you'll want to fully reset your phone, because sometimes it will give you the option to just delete old apps, but no, we want to completely clear our phone. Another way you can do this is to plug your phone into your computer, and again, follow your specific brand instructions to fully wipe your phone. After this, reboot your phone, and we are ready to start with a significantly faster phone. Step 2 is to reorganize your apps. Now, I have been over this in more detail in my digital minimalism videos, which you can check out up there, but I recommend not installing all your apps at once. Instead, now that we have a fresh install, we can be a lot more thoughtful on what we actually want to install. I recommend either drawing up a list of apps you know you're going to use multiple times a week, and then just installing them. Only installing other apps when you have a dire need to. Another method for doing this is simply only installing apps that you think about, instead of just going into like your previously installed folder and just This is a much easier method. However, you need to be much more careful with this method not to slip back into just installing everything. Yeah, a good way to make your old phone better is to only install apps that you use. Next up, we have probably the easiest and the cheapest method of making your phone look nice, changing the wallpaper. Now, there are usually a few nice ones that come with your phone. However, there's also an abundance of really cool third-party wallpapers online. Something that you'll want to make sure that you check is that the wallpaper is the same or higher resolution than your phone screen. I personally take all my wallpapers myself, a lot of which are available on my Twitter, but there are plenty out there. Some fun things you can do is if your phone has an OLED screen, go for a wallpaper with a dark theme and you can actually save some battery life. If you want to see me test this theory in a practical sense, I did that video up there. But yeah, it takes 2 minutes and it can totally transform your phone. Next up, and while this might be obvious, you can physically customize your phone. And of course, 2 easy ways of doing this are a skin and a case. I personally prefer cases because I do have a bad habit of dropping my phone. As I said before, I also really like these mouse cases. I bought one for around 35 quid back in October, which is a bit expensive as cases go. However, since then, I've probably dropped my phone like 100 times, not even exaggerating. And on my all-glass phone, I have absolutely no cracks. Honestly, I've never had that experience before. That's why I like these cases so much. And yeah, having a nice case can not only make your phone look way nicer, but it can also feel nicer and leave your phone much more protected. Another good thing you can make sure you do is to wash your phone case. This is especially important if you have a glass phone because dust particles can get trapped underneath it. So making sure that that contact between your case and your phone is clean is pretty important if you want the back of your phone to stay scratch free. It's also good because we pretty much use our phones all day, so making sure that they're clean is especially important. And if you don't use a case and your phone's waterproof, I'd recommend also washing your phone. So yeah, make sure at least once a day you do clean your phone. It's also just nicer to use when it's clean. The back feels nicer, the screen won't be smudged, and you can get rid of dust and germs. My 5th tip is to clean out your cloud files. Now, I know we already cleared the physical phone earlier, but now seeing as so much of the phone experience is on the cloud, we're just gonna go through things like photos and old audio clips and get rid of any that aren't needed. Now, this can be a very long task, especially if you take a lot of photos, so what I'd recommend doing is actually making a habit of doing this every week. So at the end of the week, check what photos you've taken, delete the ones you no longer want, and then go and repeat this process for your other cloud files. For me personally, it was my notes folder. I've never really had a problem with my photos, but I never cleared out my notes app. You don't have to, and I don't actually recommend deleting everything. I mean, the point in taking photos a lot of the time is to keep them, so you don't need to throw everything away. But those accidental screenshots and the accidental pocket photos, they can go. A bonus one for all those Android users is, of course, to install a custom launcher. When I was on the Samsung Galaxy S8, I actually used the Nova launcher, and I personally like that minimalist look. However, there's loads out there, and I would recommend checking some out. So those are my personal favorite tips on how to make your old phone better. Now, Now, there are other ones which are good if you want to spend a little bit of money. For example, if your screen's cracked, you might want to look at replacing it. But with these tips, your phone will not only look nicer with that fresh wallpaper and snazzy case, but will also perform better with the more thoughtful app selection and, of course, the bonus cloud storage. If you personally have some tips that work well for you, do let me know in the comments. But for now, as always, thank you for watching. Remember to like the video if you want to see more content like this, and smash that subscribe button. I'm done for now, and I will see you guys in the next one.